matter what I do and what I try, I always run into some sort of issue. I don't understand why. Okay, well, I restarted the stream. It's better now. Hopefully it will stick. Alright. What a mess. Anyways, let's try this flight. Let's see if we're actually, gonna get anywhere, hopefully. Let's get into the cabin. Let's get going here, cause I moved my flight and I'm still behind on schedule. So we gotta get going. Quick, 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 quick. Import, sim brief data, quick. Yes, New Orleans to George Bush International in Houston. Uh, that's in there. Services on the ground. We've got the power. Okay. I got the power. Let's get that going. External power on. Hello? Can you guys still hear me? My headphones just did a weird thing. I don't know what happened. Alright, we're not gonna turn on the pumps for now, but we do need batteries. Emergency exits. Automatic on the no smoking. Tail lights on, because I like it pretty. Navigation on, on, on. That's gonna take 7 minutes to align, so we've got some time to get set up on everything else. Gave us a fuel truck. How much fuel are we taking on board here? 5,500. Let's round it up to 6,000 just in case we gotta do something weird. Oh no, I want to do. Oh, okay, well, instant is kind of fitting for today because we're so behind. We don't have a bridge yet, so we gotta take away the fuel truck, put the jet bridge on, and the baggage truck. And the catering truck, because we do need catering, of course, as people's gotta eat on the flight, but we're only flying for an hour and a half, so it shouldn't be too bad. Payload, are we ready to take on passengers? We've got emergency lights, we've got no smoking, we've got batteries on, so interior lights should be on. I think we're okay to take on passengers. Let's do fast boarding today. Actually, first, we gotta double check that we are not parked on top of anybody here. Yeah, the bridge is not working as always, but what you gonna do? Okay, let's connect to Vatsim. Let's double check before we connect that there's nobody at our gate. Oh yeah, I forgot. So we have the wrong scenery for this. The standard scenery is wrong for this airport. The whole terminal's on the other side of the runway that we're facing right now, or kind of facing on our right. So there's another runway on our right there, and there's another terminal there. We don't have the correct scenery, so we're at the wrong place. So I don't think there's anybody that's gonna be there at the south terminal ramp. That's been closed down as far as I can see. And so we're gonna have to let ATC know about that as well. So I think we're good to connect. Let's connect. Air Canada 455, A320, AGLR. We are correct on that. Let's connect. Okay, and while we're connecting, I guess we can switch over to our navigation screen. And you guys can kind of see what we're doing here today. So we are flying from here, New Orleans. We are going to Houston right there. Pretty easy flight, pretty simple, hopefully. So the south ramp is closed, but unfortunately Microsoft Flight Sim thinks it's active. Please don't tell me. Oh my god, center locked off too. Okay, we're flying with no ATC, so we don't have to worry about ATC whatsoever. There is one play at Kmsy, that's us. Yes, that's us. Okay. Alrighty. Well, let's start getting ready then. In that case, we don't have to worry about ATC. That kind of makes it easier for us too. 1228. What is the CTAF frequency at Kmsy? Frequency CTAF is 119. 119er 5. Okay, we're scheduled to be taken off for runway 20. Let's file our flight plan. Oopsie. Forgot that it goes over here. I'm using the flight pad today, and it's connected elsewhere. So I am trying to figure this out as I go. But it's quite convenient because I can have my Navigraph here and the controls for the stream. So I can just clickety-click on whatever I need to do. Okay, so on sim brief, we need to... Here, let's go back to navigation. Let's go Navi. We turn off Navi. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna take the ATC flight plan from here. Copy that. We're gonna take it over to Vatsim over here. We are going to say import. Paste our flight plan. Process. And I think with 6,000 on fuel, we should have about 2 hours and 35 minutes of fuel or thereabouts. It's a direct flight to JPEG and then the Link 1 arrival. Very, very easy. So basically, since there's no ATC, we're just gonna take off and announce it. We're gonna connect to CTAF to make sure that they know what we're doing. Everybody at the airport. Alrighty. Okay, so we've got the flight plan. We've got our wind component, which is 071. And so we've got basically most of the things that we need now to start programming our plane for the flight. And also we're ready to take on passengers. So let's start boarding. Now that we know we're not sitting on top of anybody at the airport. We're gonna need some extra brightness on these displays, especially the McDo over here. Okay, brightness up please, thank you very much. What else? We got integral lights in here, and floodlights, we don't really need that much, maybe like 2 clicks up, 1 click up on that floodlight. I like it nice and dark in here. And we can turn off the dome lights. We do have GPS alignment already. The altimeter at New Orleans on the ground is 3015. So let's set that up. Oh, I always forget. You should always set this one up first because it changes the other one as well. So 3015, and now we have to readjust this one back down to 3015. Constraints on. Panel lights a little bit higher up, please. Let's see, what else do we need here? We need some lights over here. We need a little click of lights here. Extra brightness here. Extra brightness here. Extra brightness there. Constraints on his displays as well, so I can see them in case I need to. Boarding is going very well. Okay, going up here, we've got everything pretty much good to go. Frequencies and squawk. We did not receive anything back.
Boarding completed.
Automatic ATC, even though we did file our flight plan, right? I think we did. Easy way to check that, I guess, is I can go to Vatsim. Oh, looks like ATC is still online. 132775 for Houston Center. Okay. Let's check ATIS to make sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, on behalf of myself, your captain, the first officer and
3015
cabin
is
crew,
still
I'd like
correct.
to take this time to welcome you aboard our flight. We're just wrapping up some paperwork up front here.
My
Waiting to see
flight
final
plan
orders from the ground
is
crew, then
filed.
we'll be on our way.
Yes.
Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give them your full, undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus aircraft.
Let's get on center's frequency. That is going to be 132.
Any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask.
775. Okay, let's see if we can hear them. Anything going on?
Spring 315, welcome to New Orleans, right on Gulf, and then taxi the ramp via Gulf.
Nice.
Right on Gulf to the ramp, Spirit 315. We'll probably disconnect before we get there. Thanks for all the help.
No problem.
Okay, I think we're ready to get started up here. So, let's go to our beacon lights. So, smoke on, beacon lights on, seat belts on.
Flight attendants, arm doors, and cross-check.
And we'll get the APU going. And we will contact center for clearance. Let's do a radio check first. Houston Center, good evening, count of 455, ready to check?
5x5.
Houston Center, good evening, count of 455. We're at the New Orleans International on the ground. Unfortunately, we had the wrong scenery, so respond at the South Terminal, looking for IFR clearance to Houston International.
Air Canada 455, Houston Center, expect PDC. Bolt 81 was calling Houston Center.
Okay, we're gonna get a message on the PDC. Perfect.
Bolt 81 or Bolt 81, runway 4, taxi to Alpha Lima, cross runway 14 at Alpha.
I am hopeful you guys can hear me and see me and the stream is coming through okay. Let me know how it's going.
Bolt 27, left close, traffic approved, runway 4, clear for takeoff.
We are getting ready to get rolling here out of New Orleans. Going to the George Bush Airport, the Intercontinental International in Houston. If you guys are watching, I highly appreciate it.
1242, we have Yankee pushing star gate 9.
And there's our ITC.
That's 1242, push and start approved, your discretion. If you want 18 left, I can give you that too as well.
Yeah, we're
Canada 455, Airbus A320.
That's 1242, Roger, push straight back then. I got a Delta near you that might be wanting to push in.
KIAH.
Right, straight back.
Going direct to JBAG. Direct.
United 744, climb and maintain flight level 370.
JBAG. And the Link 1 arrival, yes. I have also decided that we're gonna
Delta
do
383, Houston Center, hello.
It's the
Push and start
Zulu.
approved straight back. You have company traffic pushing adjacent.
Which transition are we doing? Zappo. It's the Zappo via, and we're transitioning at JPEG, which is our direct as well. So it's gonna be like a pretty decent flight in terms of time, like 1 hour probably in the air or so, maybe an hour and 10.
Bull 81,
But
left close, traffic approved, runway 4 cleared for takeoff.
we don't really have a standard instrument departure out of here, so it's just takeoff, runway heading, and then we're gonna get vectors from there. Yep, altitude, flight level.
Reliable 412, I'm closing up here shortly. Radar services are terminated. Frequency change approved. Have a great night.
Squawk
Extra
4745.
services and we'll see you next time. 412, connector. Good. You have 744
No
Fort Worth
SID,
is also
climb,
off the line.
tower
Your radar
assigned
services
heading,
are terminated.
NS
Frequency
file,
change approved. Good
maintain
night.
4,000,
Good night. Thank you
initial
very much. Have a good
altitude,
afternoon.
expect
Bolt 27,
30,000,
runway
10
4 clear
minutes
for the
after
aft.
departure, ramp uncontrolled,
Runway 4, clear
push,
the option.
pilot's discretion. Roger that. Okay, before we forget, we go over here. We go to our squawk code, which is 4745. We turn on our ATC to automatic,
Center, United,
and we turn on both the
flight level 320.
traffic alerts and the resolution alerts to on, which also puts us into mode
Houston
Charlie.
Center, howdy. I'm actually closing up here in the
Okay,
next
computer
couple minutes. Houston is landing west, so your arrival should
is
not
up to
be a
date.
problem. And which I would probably say set up for ILS 26 left. That'll drop you off on the arrival.
AOC menu.
We plan for the RNAV Yankee.
Initialization.
So I think we're good. Thank you for
Data request. Initialization.
So
Data
383.
request.
Yep, sorry about that. I mean, I can only tell so much from my display here, how close you guys are, depending on the aircraft type. But
Page
once
2.
your company traffic is clear, if you want, you can wait until they're clear for you to
6.0.
push yourself.
6.0 in the block. Zero fuel weight should be automatically calculated at 55.0. We can double check on that by going over here. Looking
Triple
at
383,
weights.
Roger. Once your traffic or company traffic is clear, push and start is approved.
54,980.
You can face
55
west.
is close enough. Services, next up, we are going to need the pushback system. So we will get that queued up. We have our code. We need to do our takeoff calculations. Trip
Bolt
wind
81, runway
is
4 clear for the
71.
option.
Runway 4, clear for the option. Bolt 81.
And we've got that. Okay, next up is flight plan. We are scheduled to be departing
F-35 turning
from
base to final
runway 20. There's no SID. We insert that in there. There is going to be a discontinuity until we get to
Roger, follow that traffic,
JPEG.
runway 4 cleared for the option.
And then from JPEG, we need to process the arrival. We are scheduled for 26 right, but we could get a different runway at any time. We are supposed to be doing that via link.
1242, runway 18 left, taxi via Gulf Bravo.
The Zappo via, and our transition is JPEG. Zappo,
November
link
144
1,
Papa
JPEG.
Whiskey, sorry I couldn't get you all the way to your destination. Conroe is showing altimeter of 3008.
There we go.
Wind 170
Computer's
at
updated.
10. Sky clear.
So we're going to JPEG,
3008,
Girly,
144 Papa
Barbecue,
Whiskey.
Link,
Appreciate the service. Good night, sir.
Gil,
4 Papa
Gar,
Whiskey, radar services
Emmanuel,
are terminated. Switch to
and Zappo.
advisory, frequency approved. Have a great night, Chris.
Over advisory, 144 Papa Whiskey. Thanks, Gary. Have a good one.
performance. Alright, let's do our performance calculations.
Bolt 81 and Bolt 27, I'm going to be closing up here any second. You guys switch to this CTAP frequency for that airport. I don't have it at the top of mind, unfortunately. And then you guys will have to separate yourselves between each other.
Roger that, can. Oh, we will do that. Bolt 27.
Delta 383. I'm going to be closing up. Looks like that company traffic is clear. And I don't know if I put it in your PDC, but you could expect runway 18 left. Austin is departing south.
Okay, so he's going to be closing up. We are going to be switching over to CTAF, which is 119, 119 or decimal 5. Okay, our takeoff calculations are
Attention all
ready.
aircraft on frequency. If you're in the air and you still have radar services, they're now terminated. Switch to Unicom 122.8. Anybody on the ground, monitor the appropriate CTAF frequency, and have a great night.
Okay, let's switch to the CTAF.
See you.
Good night, thank you for the service. Our CTAF frequency here is 119er decimal 5. 119er decimal 5. And then we're gonna have Unicom queued up, because once we are airborne, we need to switch over to Unicom. We have burned already 200 kilograms of fuel sitting on the ground here, so let's get this filled out real quick. So we are looking at flaps 1, thrust flex temperature 67. Okay, 1 flaps, and we'll set that right now. 67 on the flex. What we are looking at in terms of bleeds on V1 132, 133, 134. Okay, easy enough. 132, 133, and 134 are the V1, V rotate, and V2 speeds. Perfect. We've got performance done. We've got flight plan done. We need to set maximum altitude at 4,000. Everything else is good to go. We have all of that. We can set up our pushback system. Call the tug in. Are all of our doors closed? I think so. All of our doors are closed. We should be good to go. Oh, we have another screen. Yeah, of course. The bottom ECAM that can show us that. Alright. Pumps on, please. And APU bleeds on. Strobes to automatic. Seat belts are on. Flaps are set. Pre-arm the spoilers. Ignition. And engine 2. And check behind us. Nothing. Park your brake off. Let's start taxiing. Going a little bit too fast. And we were gonna wanna go left. Okay, let's monitor the taxi and the engines to see how we are doing here and be really careful coming out. Yeah, unfortunately the ATC locked off, so we're just flying on our own, but it's alright. We are still gonna do this flight, as long as we don't disconnect, hopefully. Happened to me earlier this week, but hopefully we'll be fine. Oh, and the tug decided this is as far as we go. Alright, no problem. Let's put the parking brake back on. He is disconnecting, so we can turn off the pushback system. He basically said, yeah, this is as far as I'm gonna take you. From here on, you're on your own. Let's get engine number 2 going. Let's get our strobe lights on. We are gonna keep the bleeds and the APU on for takeoff according to takeoff calculations. That is the most efficient way of taking off here today with all of the conditions and everything taken into account. It's already 11 o'clock. Geesh, this is gonna be a late one. Alright. Taxi lights on. Engine is almost up now. Engine number 1.
Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff.
There we go. Let's close the doors. Let's turn off the ignition. Let's put braking to maximum. This is all set up for automation, but we are not really gonna have any. We're gonna take off at runway heading. We'll get up to 4,000, and then we will make a turn direct to JPEG and just fly from there. Alright, do we need anything else? Yes. We need to check our positioning and figure out where are we going. And so let's pull up our navigation. Let's put away our sim brief. We'll put up the navigraph so you guys can see what's going on here. And we're going to go here. So we are going to be trying to get to 20. So we're going to try and go through Echo, Sierra, 20. Okay, so that's what we're going to have to announce to everybody. That's what we're going to be doing. Echo, Sierra to runway 20. Okay, so this ramp is uncontrolled from here until Echo. So from here until Echo, we can just taxi freely. Let's turn off the... No, we still need the tail lights, so we'll just put them in a position where they don't blind us. There we go. That's good enough. So Echo and Sierra are right there. So let's use this taxiway right here. And we will taxi over there. Alright, let's announce what we're about to do. New Orleans traffic, Air Canada 455, taxiing via Echo, Sierra, crossing runway 13 at Sierra to runway 20. Air Canada 455, New Orleans traffic. And that was runway 23. We said 13. I don't see anyone on the ground, so we should be okay. Hopefully. Alrighty. Let's get this thing going here. Runway 29. Okay. New Orleans traffic at Canada 455 crossing runway 29 at Sierra. Just in case, you never know, somebody might see, hey, there's nobody at this airport, and I'm just gonna spawn into it. And I'm just gonna spawn on the ground at runway 29 or whatever, and then they're right in front of us. So I always like to at least try and announce my position to everybody, let them know. And then once we get onto runway 20, we will announce our intentions once again, which is going to be departing runway 20 flying runway heading 4000, then direct JPEG. Let's quickly check traffic on the ground. There is absolutely nobody around us, which is fine with me tonight. That means that we are at less of a chance of, you know, running into anybody or getting any close passes, although that was fun, having a close pass the other day, a couple of weeks ago. That was cool. Alrighty. Getting ready. Okay, final checks for takeoff. We didn't do takeoff configuration. Cabin calls, all. Spoilers armed, cabin, didn't register, all. Everybody. Let's slow down our taxi here. Going a little bit fast. Okay, and takeoff configuration check is normal. Roger that. So then we get takeoff lights. Let's line up on the runway here. Whoopsie. Too much brakes, too much brakes. I didn't ask you to slow down fully. Come on, let's get going. We are behind schedule by 15 minutes. Not too bad. I mean, it's pretty much real. A lot of flights are delayed by 15 minutes. So it's pretty realistic. Alright, cabin is ready. We just heard a little ding. Okay, now we gotta announce our position again in just a second. Let's get lined up here. New Orleans traffic, Canada 455, taking off runway 20, Canada 455, New Orleans traffic. Okay, everything is armed, everything is ready, flaps are at the correct position, everything is good to go. Let's do 50% power. Okay, throttles are live, airspeed is live, no, not yet. There we go, airspeed is live. Okay, we are rolling 80 knots. We are rolling 100 knots. Continue. 120. V1. Rotate. A little bit of a wind gust there at takeoff, but we're good. Positive rate. Gear coming up. About 15%. Let's get that up a little bit. I mean, get nose down a little bit just to reduce our climb rate. Okay. Let's see this from the outside. Back in here, levers on the throttle to climb. We can now turn off our APU bleeds and our navigation and landing lights. Okay, we are passing 2200. Let's switch over to Unicom.
2500.
Okay. Let's engage our autopilot. Let's set heading back to where we were, please. Yeah, I didn't know that our heading was messed up there. Okay, we can take away the spoilers. we can put away our flaps. We are right on the little green dot, which is basically where we're supposed to be. We are just about to get to 4,000. And once we get to 4,000, which is basically coming up right now, I might as well go direct JPEG. Insert the direct. Let's go direct JPEG and climb to 30,000 feet. Okay, APU is still available, but it should be shutting down now. Landing lights are still on. We're gonna keep those up. According to what I understand, you need to keep those on until 10,000. So that's what we'll do. One thing we can turn off is the runway turn off lights. So we can do that. Keeping the beacon and the strobe lights on. We're keeping the seat belts on for now as well. Oh, that's a pretty cool takeoff. Oh yeah, I love the graphics on this game, and I'm not even running it at full everything, but it's still looking great. Alright, back in here just quickly to check how we're doing. We're about to pass 7,000. Autopilot is keeping us on exactly what we're supposed to be doing. Let's switch this over to 40 nautical miles so we can see more range on our main computer there. Our main display. What else? Yeah, we'll switch his range as well. It will keep us at 20. No smoking, seat belts. We are coming up to 10,000. We have a direct on, so basically we can turn off the seat belts. Let's get these lights. Oh, it's not turning back. Seat belts off. You guys can start moving around freely, and we can turn off the landing lights and takeoff lights. What is coming up next? Next is the pressure change. So once we get to 18,000, we have to switch our barometer to standard. We've got fuel on this screen here. We've got our flight plan here. Alright, let's take a look outside. Yep. Pretty cool. Nice takeoff, nothing crazy. So let's see where we're at in terms of our flight here. Let me show you guys as well. Switch over to the navigation screen. We do not have any traffic around us at the moment. We unfortunately also don't have ATC. There we are, right here. That's us. It's us flying Air Canada 455. We are direct to JPEG, and then we gotta start our descent, which is called Link 1. We are coming in from JPEG. We are coming in from JPEG, going to Curly, so we can continue on at our normal altitude until Curly or so, and then we need to be below 21,000 at barbecue. Then we need to be at 250 knots at wing, and between 12 and 15,000, between 8 and 10,000, and 240 in Gill. And we are going to Redfish. The Redfish we need to be at 6,000 and 210 knots. Okay, simple enough. Let's switch back into the cockpit. Switch back into the cockpit, and we are just about to come up on 18,000 feet. We're gonna switch this barometer first, because this is the reference parameter. There it is, 18,000, and then standard pressure on the top parameter as well. So that is all good to go. We are still climbing up. We can unlock the cabin door in case, you know, people want to come and visit us, say hello. We are totally fine with that. Any other passengers, you know, if they have little ones, they want to bring them over, see what it looks like in the cockpit. See what it looks like to fly a plane, an Airbus A320. I was lucky enough that my dad, back many years ago, was an onboard navigator for a commercial airline. I did get to fly with him a couple of times and see his plane and his cockpit, but I mean, his plane was from like the 80s, and it was Soviet made. It was not great. It was nothing close to what you see right now in terms of the screens and the buttons and the autopilot and all of that. They had very simple autopilot, basically heading, altitude hold, you know, tracking hold. That was basically it. Like course, heading, altitude, and speed, maybe. I don't think they had auto throttles though, so probably not. So this Airbus A320 is way more advanced, way easier to fly, way easier to start too, and do pretty much anything with. So, but yeah, I know that a lot of airlines do allow passengers to come over to the cockpit, just kind of say hello to the captain, maybe take some pictures, bring the little ones, let them, you know, click a couple of buttons. Hopefully not do anything wrong. Alright, but we are just climbing up to our cruise altitude. It was an uneventful takeoff. I'm very thankful for that. We do not have ATC anywhere in our vicinity right now. We don't have anybody on the ground at Houston Intercontinental. So we are basically just flying by ourselves. It's gonna be a pretty short hop, probably about an hour in the air total. We've only been in the air for a little bit as well. We only took off, I want to say, 10 minutes ago. Yeah, 11 minutes ago exactly. We're taking off at 11:15, only 15 minutes behind our schedule. And we should be, what's our arrival estimated time? 4:29 Zulu. There's no way that's gonna happen. Although actually, might be. It's 3:26, so in less than an hour. Yeah, less than an hour on the ground. So cruise, we are not going to be in cruise for very long at all. Yeah, we are not going to be in cruise for very long. Alright, we've reached our cruising altitude. Pretty much. Should be pretty nice and calm from here. I'm gonna step away for like 5 minutes. And I'll be back soon. Send in some messages in the chat if anybody's watching. Although I doubt it, nobody other than my wife watches my my streams ever.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from the flight deck, Captain speaking. We've just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As we begin to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your fleet elbows clear from the aisle as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley carts shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating to the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
are coming up on our top descent very quickly here. I did not realize how quickly this was going to come on top of us. Yeah, and it's already saying that we need to start descending is going to be too steep, but I don't think so. I think we're going to be just fine. But our top of descent is in 11 more minutes. At JPEG, there is no restrictions. And then we have 32 nautical miles to Gurley. And from Gurley to Barbecue, we have 46 nautical miles to get down to 21,000 or below. I think we're fine. Yeah, I don't know why I was saying too steep of a descent. I think we're gonna be just fine. Yeah, glide level 210, 15,000, 10,000, 7,000. Yeah, we can make that work. Not sure why it's tripping and thinking that this is gonna be too steep of a descent for us. I mean, again, I'm not a pilot. I don't know exactly how all of that kind of stuff works. I only know what I know, really. So I can't really tell for sure if this is correct or not. But for now, we're fine. We've still got about 10 more minutes before we gotta start descending. Oof, we're in the dark right now. Just our beacon lights and then Houston, the South Houston shore, I mean the South Texas shore. I think that's where we're at, right? Because we're flying from New Orleans to Houston, so that would be Texas on our right. You guys can correct me on that if I'm wrong. That's what it is. Okay, and then, yeah, our descent seems to be pretty straightforward. It's nicely spaced. Our computer was saying get down to the 21 at Barbecue, get down to 15 at Link, so it's putting us at the top margin of the constraints and the restrictions, which should be alright. Okay. And then 15, 10, 7. Yep, are we going to Gar? Or are we going to Redbridge? No, we're going to Gar. Gar is at 7,000 at 210 minutes. Okay? Alright, just to put it into perspective for you guys. So, this is where we are right now, right there, that little plane. Coming up on JPEG. We're gonna fly over to Gurley. And then at Gurley, we're gonna start descent down to Barbecue. We're gonna slow down first. I always forget that. I always do it the opposite way around. I start descending and then try to slow down after, which never works. So I'm gonna try and remember to slow down first, and then start our descent. Still don't have any ATC and not much traffic around us really. I do not see any planes in the vicinity of us. Is there anybody around Houston? Yeah, I see 1 or 2 planes here. Yeah, there's one coming into Intercontinental right now. Who is that? That is an A320, an Airbus A320. United Airlines 1535 is on the glide slope down to Intercontinental, arriving. Yep, cool. Where did he depart from again? Where's that? Washington Dulles International. So I have this chart for the descent overlaid right now, so I can basically look at it at any time, see where I am, and see where I need to be, and what we're doing next, and what kind of restrictions we got coming up, and all of that kind of stuff. It looks like we have made our turn towards Gurley, which is exactly 30 nautical miles away from us right now. So, about 10 nautical miles from Gurley, we will slow down. Aw, thanks, babe. Thanks for all the gifts. Much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My one and only fan and supporter. What would I do without ya? Alright, well, we need to enter destination information. Destination information is altimeter Alpha 3009er. Let's go to performance. Next phase. Approach phase. 3009er. The temperature is 18 degrees with a dew point of 9 degrees, so we don't have to worry about icing. Plus 18. And winds are 220, so heading 220 at, no, sorry, I'm reading the wrong thing, that's the time. 160 at 07. 160 at 7 knots. And visibility is 10 statute miles, clear weather, perfect. Okay, so our performances for the approach are set up. Are we set up to do a full landing? Let's go to a configuration 3 landing, vertical landing speed 133 knots. Okay. We are slowly creeping up on next VOR point, Gurley, at which we're also going to start our descent. And before that, as I promised, we need to slow down. We are currently doing Mach point 767, which is equal to ground speed of 370 knots. Okay, let's slow down. I'm not saying we were at about 290, so let's go to 280. Yeah, let's go down to 280. And then, what's next? We go to 280, and we need to start our descent in about a minute or two. What's on our flight plan here? Top of descent, just after Gurley at Zulu 347, so 5 minutes from now. I think we're gonna start it a little bit early, although we do have 46 nautical miles to go. Yeah, I think we're fine. We only need to drop 9,000 feet to be in check for the next VOR, so I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. Anything else we need to prep for descent? I've got my charts ready. I've got waypoints and constraints all set up. Flight plan is good. Destination information has been entered. Performances have been set. Landing configuration is set. We have 4.4 tons of fuel still on board. Fuel, yep. We still got some in the outer tanks, which, as far as I understand, once these ones drain beyond a certain point, the outer tanks will get transferred into the inner tanks for better stability, but we should be still good to go. We are still good on that. We're coming up on early now. It is Zulu 44. Let's wait for another 3 minutes and we will start our descent. In the meantime, we will slow down to 275. Ground speed in actual right now is still saying about 350, so we're still moving pretty fast. We are still clicking across here. Just adjusting my charts to make sure that those are ready. Let's check ATC. We're still connected to everything. There is no ATC in our area, but there is ATC to the north. And there is a little bit of traffic at Intercontinental. Looking at the details. So we are set to arrive at 4:05 Zulu, according to the radar. And at oh yeah, there's nobody else but anybody departing. 4:04 Zulu departing. What is your flight plan? Where are you departing from? I cannot see where which runway he's coming out from, so yeah, we're gonna have to announce our position on the Unicom and make sure that we are not messing stuff up. Okay, let's start a descent now. It's a little bit early, but I don't trust the computer, to be completely honest with you. Let's manage the speed, sure. But no, I do need the speed to be low as well. So keep the speed low, descend. I'm gonna tell you what kind of speeds we need, because at the next waypoint, what was the restriction? There was a 280? Yes, 280 knots. So that's fine. Let's set 280 in the Cooper.
Equipment flight deck, ladies and gentlemen. As we have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for our approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until your aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
Yeah. Basically like the captain said there. Basically like the captain just said there. I don't know, my headphones are doing weird things, but we're starting our descent. And so this is a good time for everybody to shut up, sit down, and buckle up. And that's why I've put on the seatbelt signs on. There's no smoking, no vaping sign has been on the whole time. It's actually funny when you fly the A320 INI builds, instead of no smoking, it says no electronic devices, which I thought was really fun. We are descending at a rate of 2,800 feet per minute, and we are locked onto 280 knots, which is the restriction altitude, speed, sorry, not altitude, at the next waypoint, but we're good for speed and altitude as well. Yeah, I think we're actually setting ourselves up for a pretty decent descent here. Decent descent. Wow, that's an interesting combination of words there. And hopefully we don't jinx ourselves and then screw it up completely. Let's see, we're passing 24,000. We are well on par to be exactly where we need to be at the right time, at the right place, at the right altitude and speed. Let's keep it that way. Let's keep this nice and smooth. And then let's have a nice buttery landing. Winds are only 7 knots at, what did it say, 220 heading, and we are landing on a runway that is heading 26, so that would be 260. unless it's 026, which I doubt. But it should be 260 or thereabouts. So 260, winds 220. Winds are going to be coming from a little bit left. Yeah, we should be fine. 7 knots, pretty much almost direct. Deviation of like, what was it, like 50 degrees? Yeah, we should be okay. Alright, let's switch our ranges to 20 nautical miles so we can see stuff, although actually there's 2 waypoints coming up here, so maybe we'll keep it this way. And then barbecue, less than 210, yeah, let's go to 220, why not? Let's get a little bit ahead of ourselves. We have 10 nautical miles to go to barbecue. We're not doing anything else, we might as well. And then once we get below 18,000, we need to adjust our altimeter to 3009, if that is still correct. 3009er, correct. So that is good. Okay, we're coming up on 20,000. We are at exactly 280. Actually a little bit slow, so engines are coming up and spooling at the moment. I'm pretty sure we can see Houston in the distance. I'm guessing that's what that is right there. That massive sea of lights. Hi, Sebby boy. Hi. You want to help me fly? Oh, I don't know if I have space, but you can grab a chair and sit down and help me fly. Yeah. You need my phone? Okay. Here we go. Check. My fingerprint. Oh. Hey. Hi, babe. Alrighty. So, now we are coming up on waypoint barbecue. Barbecue, yes, and we are oh, okay. Barbecue, that's right. We did a barbecue just like last week. Alright, let's slow down to 250 knots. 250. Brakes on. You want to see the moon? Let's see, where is the moon? I don't see the moon, Baba. I don't see it. Yep. Sorry. Okay, we are coming up to 250, we're good. Okay, brakes away. What do we need to be down to? 15,000. Let's go. Yeah, brakes away, descending down. Yeah, we need to start descending quick. We're only 15 miles away from this waypoint. Okay, we'll use our speed brakes to help us descend faster. Whoa, careful, careful. Careful. Thank you, thank you. Ta-da. Oh, you're such a funny boy. Alright, we are coming up on 18,000 in a second here. And we need to switch. It's okay. Almost there, almost there. Almost there. Okay, let's switch the reference first. Where 3009er. And switch this one. 3009er. Perfect. Altitude is adjusted. Altimeter is adjusted. We are descending through 17.5. We need to be between 15 and 12 at 250. We are at exactly 250. And I think we should be able to make it to 50,000 before we hit link. Once we do hit link, we also need to descend to 8,000. Hopefully, and slow down to 240. So what did you do? I already did. Oh, on YouTube? No, yeah, I don't even know how that works on YouTube. Oh, that's funny. Okay, we're coming up on link. Yes, we're between the altitudes that we need to be. That is good. Switch back over here. Let's see, next up is 8,000 descent. Go, because we're still within the limits here, and we're only 2 nautical miles away. We might as well continue our descent. Speed brakes are still up. Yeah, it's letting me know I don't really need them. I know. We can put them away. We're not below 10,000 yet, so we don't need to put on our lights, but we'll soon. Sorry if I keep on looking down all the time, just looking at the charts and trying to figure out what we have to prepare for next. Takeoff and descent are always the most kind of busy parts of the flight. Oh, we also need to get the CTAF frequency at, what is the CTAF at? Kilo Hotel India Alpha. There's no CTAF on that one. Let's try that again. Yeah, no, there's no CTAF there, okay? So we're just on Unicom then. Okay, we're going down to 8,000. We need to slow down to 240. Let's speed brake that thing out so that we can keep on descending at a decent rate. We are about to come on to 10,000, so then we can put some lights on, landing system. I think the cabin to get ready. Make sure everybody is got their seats in the upright position, their tables stowed away, their electronic devices, laptops, all that kind of stuff put away as well. So 240, 8,000, 10,000, we are good, baby. We are good. Again, foot, knock on wood, because I don't want to jinx it. We're still connected to the network. Yes, we are. We did not get any automatic messages. We checked twice for the CTAF frequency at this airport that we're landing at. We did not get anything. So we are doing everything according to the rules. Okay, we're coming up on Gil at 8,000, exactly where we need to be. We need to put the speed brakes away. Next up is GAR at 7,000 and 210 knots. So let's slow down to 210. We we'll get that figured out ahead of time. We're only 3 nautical miles away from Kiel, so we might as well do things ahead of time. Because it's hard to lose speed and descend. Because as you're descending, you're gaining speed usually, so your descent rate becomes really slow if you're trying to descend and lose speed at the same time. Alright, we're making our turn onto our next waypoint, so that means let's descend to 7,000. We are going to switch. Let's see here, we're landing 26 right. So let's put on 26 right ILS chart from GAR to Zappo. At Zappo, they want us at 5,000. But at GAR, we need to be at exactly 7,000. So, I think we will instead aim for Raids, which is the final approach for runway 26 ILS. And that way we can make this work. Because here's what I mean. Right over here at GAR, they want us at exactly 7,000 according to Link. Exactly 7,210 knots. But ILS for 26 right wants us at Zappo at 5,000. We're not going to be able to lose that speed fast enough or that altitude fast enough. So I think we will aim instead for Raids at 4,000. And we will set direct to Raids when we're overflying Zappo, so we get a nice straight approach onto runway 26 right, and then we can lock into the localizer pretty easily, hopefully, without any additional problems there. We are already at exactly 7,000. We are at 210 nautical miles or speed. Yeah, you see, like GAR and Zappo are literally almost overlapping. What heading is the approach on? 267. That's what we need to aim for. So once we pass GAR, we have basically two options. We can direct ourselves onto Raids, or yeah, we can do direct Raids, or we can just set a heading. I think we'll do direct Raids once we're overflying Zappo, and that will basically do the same thing for us. Okay, we are lower than 10,000. Let's put out all of our lights. Seat belts are on. Cabin, crew. Make sure everybody's getting ready. Okay. We can't forget, we need to announce our position on the Unicom when we are coming up to landing. Let's get a good position on the landing camera. Landing and approach. I think that will be a good angle. Hopefully. Alright. How we doing over here? GAR is another 8 nautical miles away. This little dot right here, as far as I understand, that's the safe spot for flaps to come out. Let's verify that here. Plus flaps 215. That looks about right. 2 flaps is 200. Okay. Okay. Alright, alright. Let's get prepared. Auto braking on low. We will need to slow down even more, so let's do that now. Let's go down to 200. Okay. And we will put out flaps 1. Flaps 1. Over here, I want to get ready for altitude 5,000 and a direct to grades. Okay, we'll get that ready on the computer, but we won't program it in just yet. We're gonna let the computer fly this pre-programmed flight path, and then once we're over flying the flight path, we're going to switch over to the direct. So we'll keep this ready. Okay, we're almost at GAR. At 1 nautical mile, I can engage the descent because it does take a little bit to actually engage. Let's go. Okay, down to 5,000. We're making our turn as well. We're gonna slow down to 190. Okay, and we'll go. Yeah, we'll wait until. Oh, fly. Oops. Oops. Yeah, let's see if the insert will work. I really hope so. Approach frequency seems to be programmed in. There we go. Just as I was figuring it out there, it showed up. Phew. Okay. We got our lights out. We got seat belts on. We got low auto braking pre-programmed. Okay, we insert our direct to raid. We set 4,000. We slow down to 180. We put out the brakes so that we can really descend quickly here. We are coming in technically at a little bit of a steep angle, but I think we're going to be fine. Okay, this is the most exciting part of the flight here, coming in for landing. Let's see what we can do. Alright, we're descending to 4,000. I don't think we need the air brakes anymore. We can do flaps 2. That's right. We can slow down to 175. Keep descending, please. Yes, thank you. Okay, I see diamonds. I see diamonds. That's good. Okay, let's watch the chart. I just want to make sure that I'm approaching this pretty good. I think I am. Okay, so I think we are... Is this still working? Check. Okay, I think we are pretty good on our approach here. Let's slow down to 170 knots. We'll get ready for final approach. Light slope diamond is right there. The alignment diamond is right here. Auto throttles are on. I'm not gonna turn on the second autopilot because we're gonna do the landing our own. Oh yeah, how far away are we at grades? We are about 15 miles out. Okay, and Chubbs, we need to announce our position to everybody else. so that they're aware of where we are. I don't see anyone on the map, but there are people on the ground, so they might be trying to take off from the same runway that I'm about to land on, so we need to let them know that that is what we're going to be using. 26 right is still in use. The winds are still correct. Alright, we're making our turn for final approach. We're looking pretty good so far. Again, foot, knock on wood. Okay, landing system is on. Okay, this diamond is moving. When we get near this line, we're going to engage the approach mode. And we're gonna let the airplane take care of everything else from here. Diamond is moving very slowly, but it's moving. Come on, come on. Okay, let's help ourselves out here a little bit by descending to 3,000. And at Chubbs we are, yeah, basically 10 miles out. Are we still on Unicom? Yes, we are. Still kind of stuck in the same place, but we are going down exactly according to the altitude stated on the charts. Should be okay. Now let's slow down to about 160. Let's do one more click of flaps. And let's announce position. Houston traffic at kind of 455, Airbus A320 on final approach, 10 miles out, runway 26 right, ILS. Again, the 455, Houston traffic. Okay. We're still connected and everything? Yeah, we're good. Just checking, just making all of my final checks to make sure that we are good for landing here. Okay, landing is tricky. Oh, there's Diamond moving. It's moving. It's coming right up to the line here. That's gonna be our perfect approach. Let's engage the approach mode. So down to 150. Category single, category 3. Localizer, glide slope, all in check. Okay, seat belts are on. Cabin crew, get ready. Take your seats. Okay. $50. We can go flaps full. For landing gear, what is our limit? 250. Okay. So we can go. What are we, about 2,000 away? Okay, yeah, let's wait for 2,000 for gear down. And then what are we, where are we turning off from? 26 right? Oh god. 26 right is very far away from the rest of the airport. We're gonna have a really long taxi. That is not gonna be fun, but it's alright. Okay, spoilers armed, landing gear down. Seat belts are on, cabin is ready.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Auto braking is set to low. for landing ourselves. Okay, so if I do manage speed right now, yeah, it's gonna manage it all by itself. That's good, let's do that. It doesn't always do it, not in every airport for some reason. Yeah, I think it was saying that our landing speed should be around 139 or something like that. So I think we're pretty good. 1,000 feet. Continue. Houston traffic, Aircraft 455 landing runway 26 right. Aircraft 455 Houston traffic. Just to make sure, just letting them know, hey, I'm coming in. You guys better be ready. Okay, I think we need to slow down a little bit. Let's go 136.
500.
Okay.
400.
Just keep on slowing down. Okay, let's get ready. Okay, let's take over.
$100. 50.
High.
40. 30. 20. Retard. 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 10. 5.
Oh my lord. Oh, that was bad. Another horrible landing. Are we even gonna slow down in time?
Auto brake off.
Yes, thank you very much, auto brake. You've done your job quite well. You actually got me slowed down here before the end of the runway on what was an incredibly bad landing. As always, it seems like. Sometimes I land well, sometimes I mess up. Okay, let's pull away over the line. Perfect. Let's stop it right there. We only need the taxi lights from here on. We need to turn on the master switch for the APU. Oh, we don't need the bleed though. Yeah, just the APU. Navigation lights, strobes to auto. Okay. Here we can do taxi. Okay. Yes, clear the cautions. I'm good. We landed. I know. We almost did a boo-boo, but we were fine. We made it work. Alright, let's pull up our navigation charts for the airport and figure out where we're going. We are over there. We are going to be taxiing to the terminal via Foxtrot, Delta, and the Northeast Bridge. Okay. Spoilers away. Landing system off. This train's off. Houston traffic again, the 455, taxiing to the terminal via Foxtrot Delta and the Northeast Bridge. Again, 455 Houston traffic. Yeah, nobody is saying anything, so I guess we're good to go. Foxtrot Delta. That landing was hilarious. Yeah, that landing was something else. And now we're speeding at the taxi too. We're at like almost 30 knots. A little bit fast. Alright, we're on the northeast bridge that should lead us into the terminal. Really beautiful, big airport. It is huge. You see the tower on our left there in the distance. It's pretty cool. Wings are clean. We put away the spoilers and the flaps. We turned on the APU for when we turn into the terminal, so we have some power and we can shut down the engines before we get ground power to connect. I don't know if that's the correct thing to do or if that's like protocol, but as far as I understand in this game, otherwise if you don't turn on the APU, then the power shuts down. So, I don't know if it's maybe just this plane, the fly-by-wire A320. It might just be this one that does it. Okay, we are coming up to a runway. We gotta announce that we are crossing it. Houston traffic, Agenda 455 crossing runway 8 right. Agenda 455 clear of 8 right. Houston traffic. Okay, there's a huge maze of taxiways here to get us back to the terminal. Let's take the next left. And then we'll start looking for a gate. Gates that look to be active coming up. Let's see if we can find one that will take us. See some vehicles on the ground over here. Maybe they'll be ready to take us. Let's zoom in a little bit. There. It's a little bit of a weird parking spot, but we'll take it. Okay, let's turn off our taxi light so we don't blind everyone. Stop. Parking brake on. APU is available. Engines off. Okay, strobe lights off. Landing lights away. Beacon lights off. Okay, let's request ground power and the jet bridge, please. Okay, ground power on, APU off, seatbelts off, no smoking to automatic. We can shut down the batteries. We can turn off the crew supply of oxygen, turn off navigation and fuel pumps. And then we can go to our payload and say, let's deboard. And while we're deboarding, we are going to be shutting down all systems. Shutting down the lights, the backlighting, flight director. Okay, oopsie. All the lights off, all the screens off. GPS primary is lost, I know, because I turned it off. What else is left to do here? We can predict wind shear off, floodlights off, E-cams off, his lights off, screens off, first officer. Okay. We just got some minor backlighting still on right now. And the navigation and logo lights, emergency lights, and no smoking. And we are deboarding. Should be deboarded shortly. And that was our flight. Well, I guess while we're deboarding, we can take a look at our statistics in Volanta. Let's hide away Navigraph and we'll put on Volanta. Alright, well, we flew from New Orleans to Houston. It was a block time of 1 hour and 17. Actual flight time was 59 minutes. That was basically air time. 291 miles away. Fuel burn was 2.3 tons. 120 passengers made it safely. Our landing rate was pretty bad, a little bit too fast. We had a little hop there, you can see it. Although it wasn't really an actual hop. It's just that we had a really bad landing and it tripped off all of the sensors and whatnot. So usually I try to keep it around like 100 feet per minute and about 1 G. Landing speed was 122, a little bit slow. So yeah, definitely not a great landing. It was a great approach. It was very smooth. We had a really good descent. We did everything correctly up until that point. But then we screwed up a little bit at the end. Okay, we are fully deboarded. Baggage truck, did you take anything yet? I don't know. I guess maybe some passengers are gonna get some of their baggage, some might not. It'll be a lottery. Integral lights can be turned off now. We have everything else shut down on this end. So we turn off the nav lights. Turn off the auto smoking. We turn off that. All of the other lights are turned off. Everything else is turned off. This light off as well. And external power off. Okay. Plane is cold and dark once again. Only the jet bridge remains. Even though it's broken, it's not actually connected in the game, but according to the plane it is. But that's it. Another flight done. Thank you to everybody who's been watching. Thank you for all of your support. Thank you for all the likes and everything. Make sure you follow. Check out my videos, some of the shorts and some of the other stuff that has happened on my other flights and whatnot. Check out my YouTube channel if you want to check out some of the other stuff that I've done in terms of sim racing and sim flying and stuff like that. But I appreciate everybody. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. And I'll see you guys later. Good night.